Now, sections 150 through 160 of the Harmony refers to the last Passover and the first Lord's Supper, and section 150 deals with the preparation for the Seder. The term Seder is the Hebrew name for the Passover meal. It was now Thursday, the 14th of Nisan, or in our calendar, April 6, AD 30. At sundown, the Passover began, ending 24 hours later on the evening of the 15th. At that point, the first of the 7 days of the Feast of Unleavened Bread began, and this in accordance with Exodus 12, verses 1 through 20, and Deuteronomy 16, verses 1 through 8. Often these two festivals are mistaken as being one, and when one is referred to, both are meant. However, while God commanded that both feasts should be observed by the Jewish people, they commemorated different events. In the scriptures, the Feast of Passover is mentioned more than any other feast of Israel, over 50 times in the Hebrew Bible and 27 times in the New Testament. Now, within the framework of Judaism, this is the most important festival of the entire Jewish religious calendar. And two different names are given for this feast. The first name is Pesach, meaning Passover, originated with the angel of death motif found in Exodus chapter 12. The Jews were commanded to take a lamb, slay it, sprinkle its blood upon the lintel and the doorposts of each home. That night the angel of death passed through the land of Egypt. When he came to a Jewish home and saw the blood upon the lintel and doorposts, he would pass over the Jewish home. When he came to an Egyptian home, he did not see the blood on the lintel and doorposts. Instead of passing over, he would pass through. As he passed through, he would slay the firstborn son of that Egyptian family. This is the origin of the name for this feast, the passing over of the Jewish home by the angel of death. The second Hebrew name for this festival is Man Cherutenu, which means the season of our emancipation. The name emphasizes the result of the first Passover, freedom from Egyptian slavery. As soon as Passover ends at sundown on the 15th of Nisan, the Feast of Unleavened Bread begins. Moses described its observance, Leviticus 23, verses 6 to 8. The main component of this 7-day festival is God's commandment to not eat any unleavened bread. The Hebrew name for this feast is Chag HaMatzot, which simply means the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Leaven is a symbol of sin when used symbolically in Scripture, and the Feast of Unleavened Bread is fulfilled by the offering of the sinless, unleavened blood of the Messiah, and that is detailed by Hebrews chapter 9, verse 11 through chapter 10, verse 18. While the actual death of Yeshua fulfilled the Passover, the offering of his sinless blood fulfilled the Feast of Unleavened Bread. During Passover, Jewish pilgrims came from the region and the Roman Empire, different parts of the Roman Empire, even outside the Roman Empire, and flocked into Jerusalem for this national celebration. The main part of the Feast of Passover was the Seder, a meal whose Hebrew word means order. And when the disciples asked Yeshua in Matthew verse 17, "Where will you that we make ready for you to eat the Passover?" they're referring specifically to this Passover meal, which is eaten on the first night of Passover. And look at in verse 8, he sent Peter and Yochanan saying, "Go and make ready for us the Passover, that we may eat." Peter and Yochanan were assigned to prepare the meal. Before they performed their duties, they had to first deliver the Passover lamb to the temple compound. The lamb was killed, its blood was poured out into a bowl, it was carried to the altar and poured out on the base of the altar. And in the process, they would sing Psalms 113 through 118, known as the Hallel, a word that means praise. These are the Hallel or praise Psalms. The lamb was then cleaned, meaning it was skinned, entrails removed, and parts of the lamb were burned on the altar, and the rest was taken home and roasted. Then additional Passover items were prepared: unleavened bread, wine, bitter herbs, and a concoction called charoset, a combination of apples, nuts, honey, cinnamon, lemon juice, and wine, chopped up, mixed together until it turned a deep brown color. And this is what was involved in making ready the Passover.
The full length of this particular video presentation is 53 minutes. This brief sample should help to demonstrate the depth and quality of these teachings and recordings. There are 16 video lectures structured around 16 modules of curriculum comprised of learning objectives, readings from the Bible and course textbooks, scripture memory verses, spiritual growth activities, and open book exams. To learn more about this or our other self-paced online courses, visit us at ariocollege.com.